Every year, some NFL players drastically exceed expectations and have great seasons. These are known as breakout players. In this video, I'll be showcasing one player from every NFL team that could break out in the 2025 season. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop a like and subscribe if you're new. I spent a ton of time putting this video together, so hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, and let's get started. Arizona Cardinals, wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Harrison had a somewhat disappointing rookie season compared to expectations, finishing with 885 yards and 8 touchdowns. But with another year to develop chemistry with Kyler Murray, something he wasn't really able to do last year, Harrison could have a massive year too. I have said in the past that I'm not totally convinced Harrison will actually break out, but the potential is definitely there. Atlanta Falcons, quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Penix only started 3 games in 2024, but he showed a lot of flashes, throwing for 775 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He had 10 big-time throws to just 2 turnover-worthy plays and showcased all of the zip and arm talent we knew he had coming out of college. Penix is playing behind one of the best O-lines in the league and has some nice weapons to throw to like Drake London and Darnell Mooney. Now that he's getting the opportunity to play a full season, I think Penix could definitely break out. Baltimore Ravens, cornerback Nate Wiggins. Wiggins had a really solid rookie season, finishing with 1 interception, 8 pass breakups, and only allowed a 64.6 passer rating when targeted. He had his rookie struggles, but was overall very solid. He is in a really good spot as the Ravens CB3 because with the addition of Jair Alexander as a primary outside corner, Wiggins is going to be mostly responsible for covering the opposing team's number 2 or 3 option rather than the 1 or 2. This could lead to him putting up some big numbers and establishing himself as one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. Buffalo Bills, wide receiver Keon Coleman. The first second-round pick in the 2024 draft, Coleman didn't really put up the numbers some were expecting. He struggled with drops and the overall consistency wasn't there. However, he's now at a full year and offseason to develop more chemistry with Josh Allen, and he will be the primary outside receiver in this offense. I think Coleman has a lot of potential and look for him to break out in 2025. Carolina Panthers, quarterback Bryce Young. After looking like a surefire bust for the first year and a half of his career, Young turned things around and from weeks 8 onward in 2024 looked really good. He even had a 5-touchdown game in a shootout win against the Falcons in week 18. The Panthers offense only got better this season as they drafted Tedderwell McMillan with the 8th overall pick in this year's draft, and he's already been making tons of plays in training camp and preseason. I think the potential is there for Young to have an absolutely massive year 3. Chicago Bears, wide receiver Rome Odunze. Being the wide receiver 3 as a rookie with a rookie quarterback is not exactly a good way to put up numbers, and Odunze definitely didn't have the first season many were hoping for. But now that Keenan Allen is no longer here, Odunze can take the wide receiver 2 spot behind DJ Moore, and I think he could have a big season. He showed a lot of flashes in his rookie year and was really good coming out of college. With Ben Johnson as the new offensive play caller instead of Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams entering year 2, I think Odunze could definitely break out in his second season. Cincinnati Bengals, running back Chase Brown. If you were to ask any fantasy football player who the next breakout star was going to be, they would all probably say Chase Brown, and for good reason. After Zach Moss got hurt, Brown took over RB1 duties in Cincy and was really productive, averaging 4.3 yards per carry and scoring 7 touchdowns. Entering year 3, Brown is the clear-cut RB1 in that Bengals offense. He's a super talented guy and defenses are going to completely forget about him because they'll be so worried about the passing game with Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. I think Brown could have a huge 2025. Cleveland Browns, wide receiver Cedric Tillman. A third-round pick in 2023, Tillman hasn't done too much in his career thus far, but for a short time in 2024, he showed a lot of flashes. From week 7 to 12, Tillman put up 330 yards and 3 touchdowns before ultimately suffering a concussion in that week 12 game that kept him out the rest of the season. Tillman is now the wide receiver 2 behind Jerry Jeudy, and though his quarterback play will likely not be too good, I still think he could have a breakout 2025 season. Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver George Pickens. Pickens has had a very good career in Pittsburgh so far, but I feel like there's even more in there than we've seen. He hasn't had the best quarterback play or surrounding cast, and I think that's limited his numbers a bit. He's now the wide receiver 2 in Dallas, but he will almost always be a one-on-one, as CeeDee Lamb will be taking all the double teams. And Dak Prescott is a much better QB than anyone he's had in Pittsburgh. I think 2025 could be the year Pickens finally has that monster season we all know he's capable of. Denver Broncos, wide receiver Marvin Mims Jr. Mims didn't play a lot to start the season, but as the year went on, he played more and more and got better and better. From weeks 13 on, Mims put up 341 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he averaged 2.57 yards per out run. Mims is a super fast deep threat with good hands and yak ability, and with Bo Nix heading into year 2 and Mims being the clear-cut wide receiver 2 in this offense, I think he could have a big season. Detroit Lions, edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson has already established himself as one of the the better edge rushers in the league, but I don't think he's done yet. Richardson was on a Defensive Player of the Year pace before breaking his leg in Week 6. He led the entire NFL in pass rush win rate and PFF pass rushing grade. Now that he's back and fully healthy, I legitimately think he could have a Defensive Player of the Year type season. Green Bay Packers, linebacker Edgerrin Cooper. A second-round pick in 2024, Cooper had a really solid rookie season, finishing 52 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 pass breakups. He led a 93.8 passer rating when targeted, which was 18th best among linebackers, and he was also really good as a blitzer, finishing second among linebackers in PFF pass rushing grade, and he had 3.5 sacks. There are definitely some things he needs to get better at. He missed his fair share of tackles and was targeted a lot in coverage, but he showed a lot of flashes, and I think he could have a big year too. Houston Texans, cornerback Kamari Lassiter. Just like Cooper, Kamari Lassiter was also a second-round pick in 2024, and right away he was a very good corner for the Texans. He finished his rookie season with 3 interceptions and 5 pass breakups, and he only allowed a 69.1 passer rating when targeted. He played even better in the postseason, allowing a 0.0 passer rating when targeted, the lowest possible you could get. Entering year 2 in this DeMeco Ryans system, I think there's a lot of potential for Lassiter to break out and emerge as one of the best CB2s in the NFL. Indianapolis Colts, quarterback Anthony Richardson. Am I predicting an Anthony Richardson breakout? Absolutely not, but I have to acknowledge the possibility of one. I don't need to say how much upside Anthony Richardson has. We all know he has the traits to be a top 10 QB in this league. Will 2025 finally be the year he puts everything together? I don't know, but the potential is definitely there. Jacksonville Jaguars, tight end Brenton Strange. With Evan Ingram gone, Strange is the tight end 1 in this offense now. He was a second-round pick back in 2023, but had a solid 2024 season, putting up 411 yards and 2 touchdowns. He only had 2 drops all year and was 13th among tight ends in EPA per target. Strange isn't the biggest tight end, but he's fast, good after the catch, and I think he could have a breakout 2025 season. Kansas City Chiefs, wide receiver Xavier Worthy. I've said before on this channel how high I am on Xavier Worthy. I think he's going to have a massive 2025 season. He didn't put up crazy numbers in the regular season in 2024, but he was insane in the postseason, even having a 157-yard, 2-touchdown game in the Super Bowl. He is the number 1 outside receiver on this team, and like I've said in about 5 other videos, I think Worthy is going to break out in 2025. Las Vegas Raiders, tight end Brock Bowers. Technically, Bowers has already broken out, but just like I said with Aiden Hutchinson, I think there's more in there we haven't seen. Bowers was obviously amazing as a rookie, and he's already a top 3 tight end, but we have to remember that he was dealing with some awful quarterback play, with Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ridder all under center at different times throughout the season. Now that he has an actual good quarterback in Geno Smith, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Bowers has a 1,500 or even 1,600 yard season in 2025. He could really be that good. Los Angeles Chargers, edge rusher Tuli Tuipulotu. Ever since he was drafted in 2023, Tuipulotu has been a rotational third edge rusher for the Chargers, filling in for Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa when needed. But now that Bosa has left for the Bills, Tuipulotu is now the starting edge rusher next to Khalil Mack. He's been very solid when he's played. He has a career pressure rate of 10.8% as well as 13 sacks. He's also been really good against the run. Tuipulotu isn't the traitsiest guy, so I'm not sure if he can become a true number 1 elite edge rusher, but I definitely think he has the potential to establish himself as a great number 2. Los Angeles Rams, linebacker Omar Speights. An undrafted free agent this past year, Speights stepped into the starting lineup in Week 8 and never looked back, playing very solid for the Rams defense. Speights didn't record an interception, but he did have 2 pass breakups and didn't allow any touchdowns. He also was one of the best tacklers in the entire league, finishing tied for the 5th best missed tackle rate, just 5.7%. Speights is likely going to be the LB1 for this Rams team, and I think he has the potential to emerge as a very good starting linebacker. Miami Dolphins, edge rusher Chop Robinson. Jared Verse gets most of the hype from the 2024 defensive draft class, and rightfully so, but Chop Robinson had a great rookie season in his own right. Robinson had a 16.3% pressure rate, which is really good, along with 6 sacks. He had some truly dominant performances, including a 10 pressure, 2-sack game against the Patriots in Week 12. Robinson isn't a great run defender, but he showed a lot as a pass rusher, and I think he could continue to get better and better in 2025. Minnesota Vikings, quarterback JJ McCarthy. McCarthy missed his entire rookie season due to a torn meniscus, but now is fully healthy and entering one of the most QB-friendly situations in the league. He has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hockenson to throw to. He's got Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason to hand the ball off to. He's got a top 5 O-line, and he has Kevin O'Connell as his head coach, who made both Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins look competent and revived Sam Darnold's career from the dead. There is no better place to have a breakout year than here, and I think McCarthy could really surprise some people. New England Patriots quarterback Drake May. May became the Patriots starter in Week 6, and despite being a rookie and also having no weapons to throw to and no pass protection, May played surprisingly well. There were some rookie moments of course, but he displayed his arm talent, mobility, and overall impressed. The Patriots did their best to help May this offseason, bringing in Stephon Diggs and Morgan Moses through free agency, and drafting Will Campbell, Travion Henderson, and Kyle Williams. With Mike Vrabel now as the head coach, all the pieces are in place for May to take a big year 2 leap. New Orleans Saints cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry. McKinstry was a second-round pick in 2024 and actually played pretty well for a rookie corner. He didn't have any interceptions, but did have 5 pass breakups and allowed a 91.6 passer rating when targeted, which isn't incredible or anything, but definitely solid. McKinstry is going to be the #1 corner on the Saints team, which is a big ask, but I think he could rise to the occasion and take a big step forward in year 2. New York Giants running back Tyrone Tracy. A 5th-round pick in 2024, Tracy had a surprisingly good rookie season. He began getting a significant workload in Week 5 and did not disappoint, finishing with 4.4 yards per carry and 5 touchdowns. He also did some good stuff in the receiving game. Tracy did struggle with fumbles and drops, but overall, I think the Giants really like what they saw out of him, enough to make him the RB1 this year at least. Now that they should be getting most of the carries in this backfield, I think the potential is definitely there for Tracy to break out in 2025. New York Jets edge rusher Will McDonald. The 15th overall pick back in 2023, McDonald didn't do much in his rookie year, but was a very solid in his sophomore year, finishing with a 13.2% pressure rate and 10.5 sacks. He was really bad against the run and missed a ton of tackles, but as a pure pass rusher, McDonald was really good. Now entering his 3rd season, McDonald is the #1 edge rusher on this Jets team right now, and I think he has the potential to take another big leap forward in 2025. Philadelphia Eagles offensive guard Tyler Steen. A 3rd-round pick in 2023, Steen hasn't played too much in the NFL yet, but is the Eagles' current starting right guard. The Eagles have shown that they're probably the best team in the entire NFL at developing O-linemen, so don't be surprised if Steen plays really well this season. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Calvin Austin. Austin was solid as a pure deep threat in 2024, finishing with 548 yards and 4 touchdowns. He has blazing 4.32 speed and also has solid hands. I think Rodgers is going to want to push the ball downfield, and Austin is going to be the primary deep threat in this offense. He's the clear-cut wide receiver 2 behind DK Metcalf, and I think he could have a breakout 2025 season. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. Pearsall didn't play much in his rookie season due to the fact that he got shot before the season, but he did show a lot of flashes when he did play, even finishing with 209 yards and 2 touchdowns in the final 2 games of the season. With Brandon Ayuk still recovering from his ACL injury and Juwan Jennings' status up in the air with his current contract situation, Pearsall could be the wide receiver 1 in this offense. Kyle Shanahan is great at using his playmakers effectively, and I think Pearsall could have a massive year too. Seattle Seahawks linebacker Tyrese Knight. Knight was a 4th-round pick in 2024 who managed to see some playing time in his rookie season and definitely impressed. He wasn't amazing at coverage, he had no interceptions and allowed a 99.5 passer rating when targeted, but he was better in run defense. He had 20 defensive stops and just a 6.7% missed tackle rate, which was 9th among linebackers. Knight has a lot of traits and is going to be a starter this year, and I think he definitely has the potential to break out. Tampa Bay Buccaneers safety Tyke Smith. Smith was a 3rd-round pick in 2024, but was a day 1 starter and actually played pretty well. He had 2 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, and allowed a 90.5 passer rating when targeted. He also had 43 tackles and 21 defensive stops. Smith is undersized for his position, but is super fast, and I think he could have a big year too. Tennessee Titans defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat. One of the biggest players in the entire NFL, the 362-pound nose tackle was a 2nd-round pick in 2024, who was very good in his rookie season, especially in run defense. Sweat didn't put up crazy numbers or anything. It's really hard to do that as a nose tackle, but you definitely felt his presence when trying to run the ball. With another year to get adjusted to the NFL, I think Sweat could have a really big 2nd season. Washington Commanders cornerback Mike Sainristil. 2nd-round pick in last year's draft, Sainristil was a day 1 starter and definitely impressed as a rookie. He finished with 2 interceptions and 9 pass breakups, allowing a 92.8 passer rating when targeted. He also played pretty well in the playoffs, even picking off Jared Goff twice in their divisional win. Head coach Dan Quinn has done a great job with his defensive personnel, and I think he can help Sainristil have a breakout year too. But that's it. Those are my 2025 breakout candidates. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and that's it for me. See ya.